Good afternoon, everybody. So, my next instalment of this kit build, locomotive chassis. I think I said last time I'd bought this at a fair and I thought it was the right size and everything else. And yes, it is a Q6 and yes, it should be correct, but I couldn't get it to run smoothly. A lot of fiddling, a lot of faffing, and ultimately the locomotive would just tend to not run smoothly. It would just have a tight spot and I couldn't get around it, trying all sorts of things. So eventually I did get some using my micrometer, measured it, and I found that the holes weren't quite right for the coupling rods. So hence the reason every revolution it would just bind that little bit, despite the fact you can enlarge the holes and just didn't quite run as smooth as I wanted. So I thought, you know what, I'll put that to one side and I'll scratch build a chassis. And that's what I've done. So a couple of bits of brass strip. I've used some 10mm rectangular section as the spacer. Hopefully you can see that in there at the end. Whoops. And at that end as well, plus 1, 2, 3 midships, so to speak. And that, oh dear, I've just bashed that. Well, you've got to be careful with these things. Drop them. It's white metal and that can happen. Doesn't matter, that'll glue back on. But yes, so with the new chassis, I've got a little bit more play on the wheels so they can slide left to right. And this runs so much more smoother. I haven't run it in yet. It is just gone around the track a couple of times and it runs a lot smoother than that chassis. And that's purely down to having the correct spacing of the holes matching the coupling rod. So, a scratch build chassis. Obviously motor in situ. And as you can see now, I've got the pistons, crossheads, and the connecting rod all up, running, and working pretty well. My battery's getting a bit flat, unfortunately. Otherwise, that would look a bit better. Don't know if I can get this to. It's not going to, is it? Come on. So what I'll do, we'll cheat. If in doubt, cheat. So, come on. There we go. Running a lot better. See if I can get that. There we go. Yeah. Battery's a bit flat, so it's not the best, but that is running a lot smoother. So I'm happy with that. Painted the frames, black on the outside, black cylinders, red on the inside. And we're ready to go, just about. The Allen Gibson wheels, the Allen Gibson nuts have all been thread locked in, so I don't want to get them out anymore, which means I'm probably not going to paint the wheels. It's taken a lot of filling to get the chassis working properly. I've had the wheels on and off and on and off and so on and so on. So there's a bit of grime and oil built up on them, and I just think, no. I might one day in the future paint the wheels, but I think for now I'm going to leave it as is. Quit while you're ahead. Okay, and as you can see, the locomotive body is more or less finished. Still got handrails to put on, but I've primed it, Halford's grey primer, so that's ready for the top coats. and likewise the tender. Alfred's grey primer, all ready for its top coat. So that'll be the next stage. Been a lot of faffing to get to this stage. So we'll carry on, and hopefully next time you see it, we shall have something with a little bit of colour. Okay, so this is the picture that inspired the Q5, Q6. I'm aiming to get it painted so it looks, well, if I get it looking like this, I'll be impressed, but somewhere approaching that kind of scheme. It's from Locomotives of the North Eastern Railway by O.S. Nock. Cover photograph of a Q5 as it would have been outshopped back in the early 1900s. I think it was 1904 the North Eastern Railway changed their goods engines so that they were painted black with red lining. But prior to that, as this picture shows, they were painted green with white, black and white lining, just like the express passenger and other locomotives of the North Eastern Railway. They all had the same colour scheme. Well, they supposedly had the same colour scheme, but it's well known that of the three places where locomotives were built, Gateshead, Darlington and York, they all tended to mix the paint a bit different, so the green varied a bit. Anyway, I'm aiming for something that looks like that. So it still slows down a bit on the curves, but the smoothness is so much better with this new chassis. So I think we'll just let it run in. It does seem to run pretty nicely. So as you can see, it's looking pretty good. Next stage obviously is painting. It's running a lot smoother than it has done. Still a smidge slow down on the corners, but in truth you could spend weeks trying to rectify that and it ain't worth it. I think just plenty of running and it'll loosen itself off in the corners a little bit and we'll be fine. So I'm quite happy with the smoothness of that. It's much smoother than with the old chassis. The connecting rods, pistons, crossheads all seem to be running nice and smoothly. So I think, yeah, next stage, get the paintbrush out.